Before hot blood rained from the sky, before trees had nothing to breathe, before the craters were formed and the waters rised, there came a man. Jimmy Donaldson, better known at the time as Mr. Beast, would come to be our God Emperor of content. It is he who built the highways of information and has kept alive the virtual world for 10,000 years. It was sometime in the 21st century that he made himself known, but that didn't last long. He quickly rose to power as a thought leader and evangelical philanthropist. When the fires of humanity's greatest mistakes finally began to smolder, it's no wonder that it was him who rose out of the ashes left behind. Somewhere buried deep in the sands of the great North American desert is an underground bunker. This bunker is the home circuit for thousands of underground cables connecting the Beasternet. From the techno-chimps of the South American jungle swamps to the mobile Khans of the great Asian steppe, all require the Beasternet for commerce, diplomacy, and doom-scrolling. However, our Beasternet utopia has not always existed. A primitive network existed over 10,000 years ago. As Mother Earth began to die, matricide turned to infanticide. The virtual world collapsed alongside her. The tides rose to drown out their sorrows. Mr. Beast, the light at the end of many people's tunnels, disappeared overnight. The survivors of a world bombed and flooded had not only lost their virtual escape, but the savior at its head. Many took their own lives. Many more simply trekked forward, clinging on to lost fragments of hope and belief. And the world went on cooking like a crock pot. Spanning 1,000 miles in each direction, the American sands were filled with bandit riders, caravans of lawless brigaders who eventually decided to settle down into law bringers and began taking tribute in raw goods instead of outright stealing their bread. Generations lived and died through those dark ages. The character of Mr. Beast had changed in the minds of people, going from a savior and miracle worker into either a legend of the past or religious figurehead, depending on who you asked. That all changed on one hot summer's morning. A man in a dark robe strolled up to the fence gate of the small ranching town of Germa. 2 guards stopped the figure on the road and asked the man his business in Germa. The man uncovered his hood to reveal himself to the guards. With one smile, the guards dropped their weapons and led him into town. This is where it all started, where the first underground cables were laid and the Beasternet was born. His mortal body may have failed, but his powers prevail. To watch him is to keep him alive. And to keep him alive is to keep the Beasternet alive. He is one with the machine, and it is our watch time of his videos that keeps him alive. When his heart stops, so does the Beasternet. Those blessed with the gift of photosynthesis make a continuous sacrifice to uphold the Beasternet. Known as plant chuds, they survive on blue light and gamer sups alone. There's over 10 million of them. And we owe everything to them being locked in. Generations have lived and died doing nothing but commune with the God Emperor. The Beasternet is their temple, and watching Mr. Beast is their prayer. Together, they amass over 10 billion views a day just to keep the virtual world alive. Rumors say that just a few thousand years ago when he passed, it was only 500,000 views. And year after year, more and more clicks have been needed. It is the Beasternet that connects us together, but it's also the Beasternet that allows agents of chaos to sow discord in our virtual communities. Trolls, drama hogs, and other impotents seek nothing but the destruction of a gift they have taken for granted. There are those brave soldiers who were born and raised to fight the agents of chaos wherever they sprout along the pathways of the virtual world. Super soldiers known as Discord and Reddit administrators keep the impotents in the fields of chaos leaking in through the edges of the Beasternet. But what can we do about chaos? What are the origins of our Beasternet administrators? How are these plant chuds found? What are you supposed to do when you show signs of photosynthesis? Is the beaster net too big to fail? Or will Jimmy eventually suffer the same fate as us all? Well, I suppose these are questions for another day. Oh, and if you've made it this far, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Don't be afraid to leave a nice little comment, like a deep felt message, or maybe just the emoji of the cowboy guy smiling. Howdy.